we're working on all different types of inversions. And an inversion is really anything where your heart is above your head. So we have our super obvious inversions like our handstands, our headstands, our forearm balances, or Pincha rather. Yeah, and then we have our like non-obvious ones, which are actually in all over our practice. So for example, like your forward fold, like just standing in a forward fold is an inversion. Bless you. Doing shoulder stand is also an inversion. So we'll start today with how we normally start. We're gonna start with front and back body awareness. So we'll do some spinal articulations, working our way through our spine, bringing our mind into our center. Then we'll fire up our cores so that we're dialed in and connected. And yeah, and then we're gonna talk about today, I've touched on it a little bit, and if you've practiced with me in the past, you know this is something I talk about a lot, especially when it comes to inversions. And it's the idea that your tailbone is that keystone for your movement. When normally we go upside down, because our feet are our physical end, and our feet are used to being on the ground, when they're not on the ground, I think our brain just automatically goes there. So we kind of have to bring our mind to the center stone or the keystone of our body, our tailbones, and just making sure that the legs are energized and reaching. So when we first start to get upside down, as we get comfortable, I just want you to do whatever you got to do to make it happen. I'm not looking for straight lines. I'm not looking for perfection. And I don't really think that seeking that ultimate and perfect alignment right away is necessarily the best way for us to progress and learn. So, and I've told you that in so many of our classes. So you do what you can. You do what you got to do to make it happen. Let yourself be a mess. It's totally fine. And you can refine over time. Remember, like, we need to build the physical endurance in our bodies, in our muscles, to support us staying in these postures longer, to support us refining these postures more. Okay? So don't try to get like the straight line, like if your butt's sticking out or you're piked, but you're balancing and you're making it happen. Like, it's an amazing start point. So that's all we're looking for today, is to catch suspension or catch a hover. And just, yeah, dial our awareness in a little deeper. So my idea, I'm going to go over, and if you guys have any specific things that you want to work on, I'm going to talk about headstand. I'm going to retouch on forearm balances, Pincha, and then we're going to move into more handstand stuff. But if there's something else that you guys want to know or have questions about, please let me know. And with that, I will get started. So let's lay down on your back. Make sure you have some blocks also, guys, around you. If you have them, awesome. If you don't, no worries. But for future, really great tools to have. And I got to put my hair up, because if I don't put my hair up, I cannot balance upside down. It's just science. Yes. Fully out? Okay. Whoops. Somebody might have caught a little dip slip there. Sorry, guys. And also, you're welcome. We call that community service. Okay. Laying down on your back. Make sure she's in there. Laying down on your back. 25%. It's okay. We all got them. Okay, y'all, so laying down. Soles of your feet together, knees wide, eyes closed. Just taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And follow the pathway of your breath down into your physical center, into your belly. Bringing your awareness to your midline, where both sides of your body meet, and center. Notice which parts of your back body fall heaviest into the floor. And feel the rise and the fall of your front body. Do the opposite with your legs. Let your knees fall inward, take your feet wide. And kind of encourage the knees to slide forward towards the top of your mat. Good, walk your feet into center. And keep them a little bit further away from you, nice and wide. You'll press away, arms anywhere you like. You'll press away from your feet to help you imprint that low back into the mat. And instead of squeezing your bum to bring your tailbone under you, try to connect that space between pubic bone and belly button. Moving them down, so belly button moving down, pubic bone moving up simultaneously. And keep pressing away from your feet. Keep using the front body to lengthen the back body, so contracting through the front to expand the back, and slowly we start to lift tailbone off the mat, lumbar spine off the mat, thoracic spine off the mat. Lifting up high to the tiptoes if you like, or just pressing your hips as high as you can. Take an inhale. As you exhale, keep your hips as high as you can, as long as you can, so articulate, curling under and uncurling. So you're really trying to let each vertebrae have its own moment. And when you relax for a moment at the bottom, press away from the feet, pubic bone to belly button, slowly roll up. And you're just really paying attention to the spine here. Feel each vertebrae hit the floor, and notice if there's parts of your spine that want to come down in chunks. Not making any of it good or bad, wrong or right, just simply observing, so you know, you get to know yourself a little better. Recognize things that are happening but probably missed when you're distracted in your day. Slowly roll down. Really try to articulate as best as you can. Again, press away from the feet, rolling the tailbone up. And then keeping the tailbone as high as you can, as long as you can, as you articulate and roll down. Let your knees fall side to side. All right. Cross your right leg over top of your left. Arms reach up. Right arm under, left arm over. Reach your fingers behind you. Walk your toes. So something about these abs. Closer toes, less intense, less deep. Still work, still super hard, but not as intense. Okay? If you want to take up the intensity, you walk your toes a little bit further away from you, just increasing the space. Breathe in, stretch the front body. Exhale, contract and lift both ends at the same time. Good, and down. Back up for 2. Inhale down. Back up for 3. And down. 4. And down. 5. And down. 6. And down. 7. Inhale. 8. And down. 9. And down. Last one, 10, and hold. Run towards it, not from it. Lift the shoulders higher. Press the forearms higher. Float the tailbone a little more. 3, 2, and release. Open up your arms. Let your legs fall over to the left. Turn your eyes to the right. You can unravel your legs if you like, if the stretch is too deep. And slowly come back into center. Unravel, hug your knees in. Left leg on top. Right big toe touches the floor. So you can really walk it as far away from you as long as there's like a bend in the knee. So you don't want to like straighten them, just a little. Okay, so another thing to remember, like what side, what arm, your same side is always closest. So if the left leg is on top, the left arm will be underneath. And that's in your eagle pose as well when we're doing this standing. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. 10. Inhale down. And remember, don't let it go at the bottom. Don't like collapse. You stay engaged. Exhale, round and curl back up for 2. Good. Inhale down. Back up for 3. And down. 4. And down. 5. And down. 6. And down. Last 3 are always the hardest. Stay with it. 3. Inhale down. 2. And down. Last one. Hold. Run towards it. Keep lifting for 3, 2. Okay, open up your arms and let your legs fall over to the right. Eyes to the left. Good, slowly come back into center, more abs, because it is very important. Lifting your feet to the sky. Lift your hands to the sky also. Breathe in. Head and shoulders lift up off the mat. Lift as high as you can, and from there we pulse up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause, hold, stay lifted, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift a little higher, pulsing upwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause, hold, stay lifted. Hands float forward. Drop your right leg down. Make sure you maintain that imprint. Pubic bone to belly button, long low back. Stay here, or if you want extra, hands go over the head for 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Drop your head, hug your knees in. Ebb and flow between ease and effort. It's always equal parts, ease and effort. You get too rigid, too hard, it does not happen. Reaching up. Breathe in. Head and shoulders off the mat. Pulsing upwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold, pause, stay up, squeeze the upper ribs in, pull the belly down. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay up. Float the hands forward. Drop your left leg down. Find your imprint. Pubic bone to belly button, long low back. Stay here and hold it, or reach the hands over the head. 5, 4, 3, 2, head down, feet up, hug it in. Rock and roll. Cross your ankles, plant your hands, find your way back to down dog. Now, it's gonna be very tempting here to like really go into the front body expansion in your down dog. I have a very hypermobile body, so that is my effort and my work where most people are looking to open up. My personal practice is to remain in stability. So I always try to avoid doing a lot of heart openers or things that really open up my front body, just because if I do too much of that, I'm not able to control my core when I start to get upside down. So try to avoid like really stretching out those belly muscles. Try to keep this mostly in the hamstrings. Let's inhale high to the tiptoes, and we'll do a side body stretch. Drop your heels to the right.
Squeezing right shoulder towards right hip, using the inhale to open up the left side torso. And switch. Heels to the left, bend the knees. Inhale, high to tiptoes, roll your sit bones a little higher, melt your heart a little bit closer. Try to squeeze those upper ribs in, even from here. Relax your neck. We hold for 3. We hold for 2. We press forward, high plank. So hips and shoulders, same height. You got it. Pubic bone to belly button, longer low back. Holding here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Keeping your shoulders lined up over elbows and elbows over wrists. As you inhale, you'll lift higher to the tiptoes. Lift your hips high. Press away from the hands. Squeeze your upper ribs in. And then exhale, press the heels back, wrap your elbows back, pull your heart forward. Inhale. Fill up like you've been filled with helium. Exhale, press back. Keep going. 3, press down to go up. And back. Strong legs. Everything is working to support the whole press. 4. And back. Last one. Round and curl, hold. Press out of the shoulder joints. Resist gravity. 3, 2, and 1. Flip your tailbone. Go back, down dog. Try not to get too deep into that front body stretch. Wrap your elbows down. Send your inhales into your back body. And notice how if you inhale into the back body, the upper ribs naturally want to anchor in. Good, move forward, high plank and pause, hold. Work your way down to your forearms. So I want you to notice something here. Let's drop the hips below the shoulders and sink down. So do the opposite of everything I always tell you to do. Just let yourself sink. Now do the opposite. Tailbone under, upper ribs in, and resist the floor. Press down to go up. Good. Now we're just using the shoulders. You're going to sink down and press and rise as much as you can out of those shoulder joints. Good. Down. Shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades separate. Good. 3 more. 3. And up. 2. And up. 1. Press up and hold. 5. 4. Squeeze those legs. 3. 2. Drop your knees. Child's pose. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Okay, slowly come up, tabletop. One more thing we're gonna do before we go into our inversion work. You're gonna come up and lay down on your back. So there's this idea of like weight and counterweight, very similar to when we do our arm balances in our crow pose. So once you get crow, you're like, oh, this isn't that this much. Once you understand it, it's less about strength. You do need a certain amount of strength to get it, but it's more about weight and counterweight. And your inversions are very similar to that as well. So this is a great exercise, especially if you're starting to work into your presses and your press handstands. So I come into shoulder stand. You can take your hands to your low back or to the ground. Sorry, this is plow pose. And you want to just play with, notice how my tailbone goes back away from me to counter the weight of my legs. As I start to lift my feet up, my tailbone and my hips move closer to my face. So you can actually control the speed and weight of your legs with that tailbone. So as the legs drop, send your tailbone away from your face. And then press down, lift the hips up. Again, slow. Tailbone moves away from you. As your feet come up and they press away, your hips move closer. Let's go 5 more. 5. And up. 4. Belly hollow. And up. 3. And up. Energy through the legs. Notice if the legs are noodles, it's so much more work on your core. So keep them long and strong. 2, and down. Last one, we come up. We come down. Deaf man's pose, also an inversion, a sneaky one. 3, 2, slowly roll down. Nice. Okay, let's rock up. So we're gonna start from the ground and then we'll work our way up. So our first inversion, we're gonna work on our tripod headstand. And let me just see, I wanna know where everyone's at. Can you let me know if you can already do a tripod headstand? And I'm gonna do levels to this. I just wanna know where we're all at so I'm not going over things we already know. So tripod headstand is the one when you're on your 2 hands, or any headstand. Just give me like a yes. Okay. Yes, but would like to go over. Yes, but not right now. I struggle with lifting my legs above the head. Okay. So it will be easiest for you guys if you are close to a wall. A lot of going upside down is kind of like a psychological thing for us too. I've had a lot of students that are generally terrified to put weight on their head, or they have this fear that like they need to protect their head, and no, that's just like, that is normal and that is your body's like defense mechanism, and it's okay. So yeah, make sure you're close to a wall. So we'll go over Shirshasana A first, headstand A, which is the one on the forearms. Then we'll go over tripod headstand, which is the 3 points, the tripod. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So if you are close to a wall, be by your wall, because it just helps you kind of feel a little safer. Okay, so how do we find the balancing part on our head? So you're gonna take the heel of your hand and you're gonna bring it to the bridge of your nose. And where your middle finger falls, just like dig your nail into that spot so you have like a little, yeah, like a little mark. And that is your balancing point right there. You're going to bring your forearms down. So remember when we did the forearm stand last week, we talked about having this like wrist, elbow, shoulder alignment. This one, you're actually allowing yourself to be more in like the triangular shape. So you want to make sure that you're creating a nice triangle. You got to find that baby bear stance. So you don't want to be too wide, or else you're going to fall over, and too narrow, you're not going to be able to tap into the muscles of your shoulders and those stabilizers. So you baby bear. I weave my hands into one another like this. Some people just grab the back of your head. You'll find what is the best version for you. And I bring that balancing point down to the floor. And I take like, you can see your elbows from here. So you want to make sure they're not like closer to 180. You want to be able to see them in the peripherals. Now, before you even lift your knees off the floor, press your elbows down into the mat. Notice how if you just hang upside down here, your shoulders are going to want to slide by your ears. We always must resist gravity, pressing down to go up, and that's the way we lock in and find flight. So pressing the elbows down into the floor and hugging the shoulders into the sockets. You can tuck your toes and lift your hips. So before you even start to lift your legs up to the sky, get really solid with this foundation. Most of the weight here, when you're in this headstand, 80% of your weight will be in your forearms. The other 20 is in the crown of the head. So I love starting with this one because it's less heady and more, we're in like bigger muscles to support us. So you really want to make sure shoulders are hugging in, elbows are pressing down. You activate from the ground up. So what are we going to do? We press down, and all you really want to catch first for your first hover is that little like knees to chest is perfect. So watch my tailbone. I'm pressing my elbows down. I walk my feet as close as I can. One knee, heel to bum. From there, you press off the bottom toes and keep knees to chest. Check in with the shoulders, pressing elbows down into the floor, And then to come up, you uncurl your tailbone, 90. Again, check in with the shoulders, pressing them down, hugging shoulders into their sockets. And then from there, one day, the tailbone stays where it is. The toes, they kind of come up, and I keep like a little bit of a pike at first because it's easier to balance. And again, you check in, pressing down to go up. 3, 2, slowly come down. So what I want you to do, if you have access to a wall right now, you want to bring yourself, so like say if this is my wall right here, you want to bring yourself like probably 5 inches, nothing crazy, 5 inches away from your wall when you set up. So what you're going to do, you'll walk in and you're going to press off that bottom foot. You can also put a block underneath here and you'll roll your tailbone to the wall. It's that uncurling of pubic bone from that tucked under shape into our natural alignment. So you can also put a block underneath one or both to give you a little bit more elevation. But what we're really looking to find here, bring your awareness to your tailbone and send it back. So the further you send your butt over your head, the easier it's going to be to lift those legs up. If you're working on that pike, tailbone goes way back, and then you start to bring the tailbone more over the back of the head as you lift the feet up to the sky. Okay, I'm gonna come down and see where y'all are at. I see some questions are popping through already. Yes. Okay. So yes, that's actually a really good tip. So if you want to find where your perfect baby bear width is for those elbows, you want to grab forearms so you can wrap around the outside, and that's generally where you want to be, right here. Okay? Let me see. No, one is not better than the other. So someone just asked, Nicole just asked, why can I pike, but I cannot baby bear? Is one better than the other? No, this is one of those things where it's just like, we're all different, right? What we find to be easy is gonna be one or the other. So let me see here. Nice, nice, nice. So remember those shoulders, right? And we're always gonna have to kind of circle back to that cue, checking in, squeezing in and pressing down to go up. Like you're trying to lift out of the shoulder joints. Nice, Jewel, super good. So Emma, do it again. But keep bringing your butt to the wall. So keep pressing, bring your butt to the wall and then uncurl your tailbone up. My neck feels like it's collapsing. So if you feel like your neck is collapsing, you are not using your arms enough. You really gotta press down to go up. Let me see, Natalie, let me see if I can find you here. Where are you? Oh, there you are. I see you. I see you. Okay, let me see. Yes, so more elbows, more elbows, more elbows. One knee to chest. Yeah, and then press off those toes and forget about bringing your feet up. Bring your bum to the wall. So keep pressing away from the toes, pressing down into your elbows. And maybe even move a little closer to the wall because I know you're scared. I can see it. Still, there you go. Stas, have you tried? Yeah? Let me see. If you like. Oh, amazing. Oh yeah, easy for you. Chill. Yeah, press down through those elbows. Amazing. So what I want you to think about, if you are someone who is really solid upside down, I want you to think about, so there's this place in which with this tuck, this pubic bone to belly button tuck, when you're upside down, you have the ability to actually pull yourself longer, which doesn't make sense, right? Because normally when we are getting pulled down into gravity, we should be shorter. But for those of you who are comfortable in that forearm, what I want you to look to do is try to get yourself longer. So let's see if you can notice this little adjustment. So once you get upside down, I want you guys to press down and lift a little higher out of that low belly. Like really press into the floor. Like you could almost float your head off, which is a transition, which we will work on. Not today, maybe another time. Pubic bone to belly button, longer low back. And forget about the feet. The only thing you need to worry about with those feet is that they are reaching, engaged, long, like you're shooting laser beams out of your toes. If the weight is heavy or the energy gets cut off at the feet, the energy just goes down. You want to press down with the elbows, but shoot out with the toes. You're always creating this energetic line of opposition to create and stick the balance. It's never all or nothing. Yes, exactly. So especially for you, you want to make sure that upper rib cue and sending your breath into your back. But super beautiful. Natalie, how we doing, hun? Take your elbows a little bit wider, I think. Just a baby bit. Yeah, float the knees. Now take one leg up to the sky. I think it's going to be easier for you. Straighten that leg. Yeah, and push until your bum finds the wall. Kick up. Keep going. There you go. Pressing down to go up. Nice. So yeah, this is something I want to touch on. Depending on, now my hamstrings are very open, and this is both my blessing and my curse, right? So open hamstrings allow you that range to really push and get your bum over your head. If you're someone who has tighter hamstrings, that doesn't mean that you're fucked, right? Sorry, Kane, I'm so sorry. So if you are someone with tight hamstrings, you can kick up to the wall or into your inversion. The reason why I try to avoid it when I'm teaching people right away is because you have more control when you're moving slowly and hugging the knees to chest. But when you bring momentum into the mix, it's a lot more to catch yourself. It's a lot more to know where you need to land, and it's a lot. But this ends up working for some people. So try everything on, see how it feels, and you'll naturally know which side you kind of bend to. I feel like the weight is going into my pinkies. Yeah, so just move your hands around your head until it's comfortable. You're just trying to, like the crown. You definitely don't want to crush it. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Oh no, Lucy, do it. I want to see it. Let's see, Lucy. One, two, beautiful. And then knees to 90. Yeah. And it really is about that articulation of the tailbone. So it's less about the legs extending up, and you're still in that keystone, right? Where you go from the tucked position. Yeah. So from a tucked position, which is like what we talked about in our standing leg raises, like this is tucked, you see my tailbone is under, and this is natural or neutral. So you're bringing yourself upside down from this tuck position and using those deep core muscles to lengthen from there. All right, let's come down. Tripod headstand. Tripod headstand, same principles. So we're looking to create the triangle, the point being our head, 2 sides being our hands. If you like, you can grab either a strap or a booty band. I prefer the booty band, as you know, because there's a little more space, a little more feedback. Oh my God, I grabbed the wrong booty band today. This is the tight one. Okay, so
Same thing. How do you find your balancing point? Heel of the hand to the bridge of your nose, and the middle finger right to that balancing point. You bring your head down to the floor. Now here, you want to look for that 90-degree angle. Where I see people mess up, and it's not a mess up, or what I see people do is they bring their hands a little bit too close to their head, which won't feel stable. So remember, you need to find baby bear, but a wider base, like not outside of 90, but a wider base is going to be the most comfortable for you. Like think about a tripod, right? If it's like super closed, easier to fall. Wider base, more stability. So you're gonna come down to the floor. Now to get up to the wall, a little bit different. You're pressing, and now this one is definitely much harder because the pressure is 80% on the crown of the head and only 20% really on the arms. So you mentally need to really stay in your arms. Stay in, and this is something I actually don't practice very much. I don't do this variation very often because my neck is so long. This is actually a posture that is not good for me. That's a thing. It's a real thing. So I usually prefer the other one for myself in my practice. So just make sure, shoulder, elbow, elbow, wrist, you're looking for that nice 90-degree line, not like this, definitely not back here. Baby bear, set it up. Okay, then from there you tuck the toes, you float the knees. This one you're gonna feel a little bit more unstable, so you really gotta plug those shoulders into the socket, press down into the heel of the hand. Walk your toes close. Now version 1, I used to do this in dance. We called it a teddy bear stand. So 1, 2, you're bringing your knees onto the back of your triceps like a little shelf. So if your arms are not engaged, if you're not turning, like if you're not pressing into the floor and squeezing in, you're gonna feel your knees kind of like rolling. It's a good indication that you're not grounding enough. So if you feel like the knees are rolling, squeeze in, press down. So you're gonna go D, 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 D. 1, 2, big toe mounds touch so you know where that physical midline is. You're going to press away from your hands. Roll your tailbone back to that wall and again come up 90 degrees. And from there, drawing the toes up. Don't worry about where your feet are in space. Think about your tailbone over the back of your neck and just make sure that the legs have energy reaching out and through them. Keep reminding yourself to press the shoulders away from the ears and grip the floor with the fingertips. Let me see. Yeah, Kane, you don't need to take up that much space. There you go. Nice work, guys. Yeah, that's it. So Nia, those hands a little bit further back. You're more in that 180 position. You're like up here. Triangle, boom, boom, boom. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's it, that's it. So what you have to do, you gotta keep pressing down to go up. You have to press into the ground to make yourself go up. And it doesn't make sense. You're like, how can I be pressing down but going up at the same time, right? But it's true. Okay, so for my people who are ready to pike up, this is actually, so you can practice and build the endurance in your core with what we did in at the beginning of class. So in the shoulder stand and tapping and piking up and down. My wrists, why do they hurt so bad? Let me see, where are you? When do they, let me watch. If you can turn your camera down. Yeah. Should this be hurting my head? Okay, so yes, this version definitely hurts your head more. There is a ton of pressure on your head here. So it's normal because like literally all your body weight. Yes, it's just like, it's repetitive, right? And especially because you are also someone like me who's hypermobile, you really have to make sure and just watch that you are turning it on. Like spirit fingers all the time, gripping. It's very easy for us, I know, but that's, if it makes you remember, it's perfect. It's because we are so flexible and so open, naturally we just dump. Like we just naturally sit in things because we can. So it's just like a mental thing and it's a muscle in itself also. But we'll do some wrist stretches and stuff after class as well. Yes, definitely works your arms more. This one is, yeah. Okay. Also, safe way to bail for tripod headstand. Oh. Okay, so like if you are practicing, yes, the butt band does help. So the safe way to bail is to always come back to where you started. So that's why I always like to do knees to chest, or knees to, you keep your knees in, because you'll always come back to where you started, right? It's when we're at that scary, like 90, like when our tailbone is neutral, then we have the ability to go over. If you are flexible, you know that you can catch yourself. But if you're someone who's a little stiffer through your front body and through your spine, that's when it can get scary. So as best as you can, you always try to keep one knee locked into your chest as you're practicing, or be against a wall. The other exit strategy is a somersault. And you can do it from, mostly it's from the tripod headstand. I'm gonna show you. I gotta take this mic off. This is gonna suck. But basically, you just wanna think armadillo. Okay. So, oh, I'm scared. This is more scary for me. Ooh. No, I'm not gonna do it. You can somersault though, it just sucks. It's like a back flop. So if you feel unstable, just set yourself up for success. Have a wall behind you, keep one knee into chest. I can balance my knees on the back of my arms as soon as sorry. I can balance the knees on the back, yes. So when you come up to that base and you have your knees on the back of the arms, our brain is naturally gonna go to that connection. So you have to make sure that you're activating. Press down to go up. It is like it's a strength and it's an endurance thing too, right? Like we have to gradually work our bodies into these places. So don't be discouraged if you can't do it right away. Like we're just planting seeds. And as you continue your practice with consistency and time, like that strength will show up, and you have to trust yourself in that. So just do what you can. Try to hold where you're at that. You don't want to be, it shouldn't be easy and it shouldn't be excruciating. So when you get to that manageable point, you want to try to hold that space for 5 full breaths and then come down. And that you just do it gradually. If you push yourself too hard, too fast, which is what I did at the beginning of my yoga journey, like you're just young, you're excited, you want to do all the cool stuff. But I was injuring myself constantly because I just did not have that physical endurance in my muscles. I could get myself there because of my flexibility, but I could not maintain and hold myself in these things. Yeah, that's it, Nia. Yes, you got it. So for my pike people, let me get back to that real quick. So the ways that you can work the press. One is what we just did against the wall. I'm going to show you from my forearms. So again, notice I'm pressing down. When I'm pressing down through my elbows, it's giving me the stability and the foundation to really bring my butt way over my head. So I'm not even in strength there, especially in the lower half. It's just my upper body that is working the strength. You're going to press down through your elbows to pull your tailbone back over your head. Big toe mounds touch. As you start to lift up, you must press down into the floor. It helps you counter the weight of your legs. And as you start to bring your feet up, you think about your tailbone coming up over the back of your neck. Another nice option here to make sure that your legs are active, no noodles, no nudes, ever. Okay? At least not these kind of nudes. You can bring a block between your thighs or between the feet and squeeze inward. Pressing down to go up. There is a little bit of a moment where you can see my shoulders are down, like shoulders are kind of shrugging.
But as I start to lift up, I'm pressing my elbows down, moving my shoulders away from my ears. And especially when I get up to the top, that's where I'm locking it in. So also another thing to do to make sure, especially if you're new, keep your feet in a pike position. So I don't want you to be so fixated with having your feet straight up above your head. This comes with time and practice. We have years and years and years to refine into this place. You don't have to be in a rush to get there. Ass back, toes forward slightly. This also ensures you come back to where you started. What we want to avoid is this. This is not it. Crunchy spine, open body, way more pressure on my neck. A little pike is good. You can find that pubic bone to belly button, and even here you feel that tailbone can lift higher to the sky. As you bring your pubic bone closer, tailbone can lift higher. Let me see. So that is because you are using you're using your low back instead of your core. So when you come down, think about you're not squeezing your core. It is all about the placement of where your tailbone is, and your belly is kind of like a vacuum. Think about that instead, and reaching through the toes. Don't let your feet be dead weight. You gotta like spirit toes. Like you're doing sorcery out of your feet. Let me see, slow. Tailbone heavy, slow. Yes, reach through your legs. Energy, energy, energy through the feet. Press down through the elbows. You can keep going. You can keep going. You can keep going. Pause there. Nice. Now send your butt way over the back of your head. Send your butt way over, more. Yes. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Press your elbows down. Stunning. Different, right? Yes. That's it. Better? Amazing. Can I confirm where the tailbone, where the sweet spot is for the tailbone? Yes. So your tailbone, the sweet spot is that place when you come back into natural alignment. So the sweet spot is looking to find the same position upside down. And you'll be able to do that low belly hollow. And this is why I love to do these from standing, because you're just a little bit easier. Hips back, chest forward, low belly hollow. It's the same sensation, same sensation we make or look for upside down. Yes, the low belly hollow, especially as you're working on the press, lifting your leg up. You're not like flexing the muscles. It's like a gasp. It's like, and I've said this before, it's very morbid, but I think about someone holding a lighter underneath my stomach, and I'm like, ooh, can't touch it. So you want to escape the flame and fill yourself. Jing, make sure those legs have energy, like a ton. Yeah, T, keep going. Trust it, trust it, trust it. Keep that bum over your head. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So good. So good, so good, so good, so good. So try like 1 foot at a time. Like don't be pointed or flex toes. Again, it's preference. I'm like a Barbie foot person. I like to like foint. We call it a foint. The foot is flexed, but the toes are flexed, but the feet are pointed. Everyone is different. So you're either gonna find it better with like a heel kicking up and out, or you're gonna find it better with the toes reaching. It's just preference. Okay, so T, take your time. Think about your tailbone and less about your feet. Take one leg up to the sky. Yeah, how exactly? Let's keep knee to chest and just keep that knee to chest as you float your, yeah, keep going, trust it. Your bum is gonna lift, so the bum going over it, yes, now pause, pause, pause. Send your, so what you're missing, T, is that, and we all do this,
you're getting stuck. So you're really good on the lift up. You're forgetting about the counterbalance on your way down. So what's happening is she's able to get up most of the way. This is the easy part for her because this is, you know, it just is a lot easier to go from here. What you're missing is as you're bringing your legs up, you're not shifting your tailbone. So your bum is staying back, your legs are coming up, and then you're going over. See, that was the somersault exit strategy. I just was way too psyched out to do that the first time. So you have to, as your legs are, so watch, you're here. As your legs are lifting up to the sky, your tailbone is traveling back in space. So not back over the head, but back to over the shoulders, over the back of the neck. To come back down, ass out, feet heavy. And you take your time, so you keep shifting your tailbone back to counter the weight of the legs. As the legs come up, the hips move closer to your face. So if it's too much, like if you're like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now. There's way too many sensations. Like if you're flooded with sensation, take it back to somewhere that's easy, where you understand that concept. Hips back to float the feet up. Toes back, hips forward. Make sense? Let me see, where'd you go? There we go. Okay, yeah. So tippy, 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 press your elbows down. You can do one or both legs. Yes, hollow belly. Yep. Shifting that tailbone towards your elbows, over the, yes! More. You're so good. You're so good. In time. In time. Yes. So a couple things. It is super important, and please do not write this off, that even though we are on our arms, and a majority of the work is coming from our arms, our shoulders, pressing down to go up, if your legs are noodles, sorry, I think it's starting to rain. If your legs are noodles, if they're gonna take you down. You have to consider your legs are more than half your body. At least for me, that's true. They're like 80% of my body. So if my legs are soft, if they're not reaching, engaged, they're gonna put a lot more pressure in my neck and in these tiny little muscles that are not designed to do that. So you wanna put the effort, even still, even if it's not an obvious connection for you, you need to put your energy in your bigger muscles to help support the tiny ones. Everything works to support the whole. It's not all or nothing, it's all involved, always. Okay, and we're getting some rain. All right. Coming down. Yeah, the spirit toes changes the game. I find if I just worry about the ends of my body, like spreading my fingers or spreading my toes when they're floating, everything else in between just magically falls in line. I can't describe it, I don't know why, but if you're having a hard time thinking about squeezing, engaging, reaching, spread your toes. The rest will magically happen. Okay, hold on. I gotta move you guys underneath my little umbrella here.
Is this in the...
Yeah. Uh-oh. There's always something. Okay. Okay. Are we all feeling, ooh, modesty, super good. Perfect. It's gonna take some time, which is why it's nice to have a wall or a couch or like a soft landing behind you. Because a lot of the time, especially when we go upside down and get into movements that are like not natural of our body, there is like a primal protection mode that goes on. So you need to just set yourself up in a safe environment so that you can grow and evolve at your own pace. There's no need to pressure yourself to be able to do it right away in the center of the room. Keep going, Nat, super good. Yep. Keep that top leg kicking up, 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 up. Okay, now let's go over that, and then we're gonna go over that, and then we can, oh, I made a mess of this here now. Okay. Still rain? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, it is always gonna be the top leg that helps you lift up to the sky. Not so much the bottom leg pressing, jumping, pushing, but that top leg is going to help you. It's another part of that counterbalance, right? You use that weight, you kind of can take it slightly over the head to help you lift that bottom leg up. Pause. Then you can either bring second leg to meet the right, or you can just hang out with one leg up. I have to say I'm the most impressed with this mat because it does not slip and it is soaked. Okay. So, one leg up. You want to keep kicking that leg up to help you lift the bottom one. Same idea as when we do it from here, and also from here. The top leg gives you a little momentum. I want you to try to avoid, as best as you can, the kick, just because it takes a little bit more awareness to catch yourself in your balance. It just comes with practice, Nat. So you just keep doing it until your body, it's like riding a bike, you know? Gets a little bit better every time. Full sun shower here, like full torrential. Slow. So Angie, more tailbone. Stop thinking about your feet. Try to bring your tailbone over the back of your neck. There. Yes, honey. Beautiful. All right, come down and take a second. All right, can you guys find a forearm plank for me? And really find that rounded shape. So press away from the forearms, pull the upper ribs in, pubic bone to belly button, and try to use your front body to create that contraction rather than squeezing your bum. Press down to go up. We hold for 5. Hips and shoulders same height. So Nat, drop your hips. Tamika, drop your hips. Pubic bone to belly button, more longer, low back, yes. Angie, drop your hips. Ife, drop your hips. Modesty, drop your hips. Naya, drop your hips. There. And elbow squeeze to toes, toe squeeze to elbows. Amma, drop your hips. For 5, run towards it. Low belly hollows, 4. Good. Stas, a little lower. 3, yes. 2, nice work. Okay, now press back, dolphin. Walk your toes a little bit closer. Okay, and coming down to your knees. Forearm balance. So we did this last week. We're gonna go over it again so we can just refine. Is there anything, because we did do this last week, so if you were with us last week, if you have any questions about it, things you want clarified, or you just want me to go from the beginning again, I will tell you, I cannot press from a forearm stand. I have no interest in pressing from a forearm stand. For me, my legs are just so long, it is too much on my neck and on my shoulders, and it's just not worth it for me. So also, as you progress in the practice, like we don't have to connect to every single posture. We don't have to like get every single posture. If you want to, you can, but you also have to decide if it works for you and your unique makeup for your body, right? So I'm just gonna be going over like kicking up and pressing up with one leg, but with 2 legs, I don't know. Maybe I should give it a shot though. Maybe not here, maybe when you guys aren't with me. Okay, so things, in Pincha, I feel like I struggle to think about having enough shoulder and engaging core at the same time. So remember, I don't necessarily want you to think about engaging core. It's really that like, it's a gasp. It's like when the belly just slaps the back of the spine. So it's not so much an active like you know, it's just like a, and feel that in your body. Like if you actually flex and tense, right? Feel that, and then the opposite, relax, and then do a gasp. Do you feel how when you contract, the energy is down, closed, and the gasp is like a little uplifting, a little expansive? That's the energy you're looking for. Okay, wait, we have lots of things. And it just takes time. Like, let yourself be a mess. As long as you're putting yourself in like with like the baby bumpers, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's okay. It's okay to like be slightly messy. It's okay to be shaky. It's just your body learning. It's your body expanding and growing. You just want to make sure that you're not doing things repeatedly that can push you to injury. So you keep it small, you crawl, and then you walk, and then you run, and there's so much time. I find myself mostly leaning onto one side in most arm balances. I suppose it comes from unequal strength and even, okay, yeah, so we all do this. And this is just because we usually will fall to our dominant side. So is it the side that you write with? Yeah. So one, it's part of that dominance that you're naturally your brain is just gonna use one arm more than the other. If you have like a mild or slight scoliosis, sometimes that also affects your foundation. And it doesn't make it good or bad, wrong or right. We're not seeking perfection. We're looking to use everything that we have and everything that we are to make it happen. So there's not like this, things are not like linear, you know? We have to also tailor these postures to work for us and our unique selves. These things that I give you guys, they're also not the be-all end-all. These are things that I've used and found and learned throughout my own practice. So if it doesn't resonate with you, like, I'm not personally offended, you know? I tell you these things so that you can keep yourself safe and that you have a safe space to evolve in and progress in. But even within your own self, you are going to find and feel these postures differently. You're going to have your own digested understanding of what these postures are the more you do them. So it really just takes time, and it takes patience and persistence, all the P's. Practice, patience, persistence. How do we protect shoulders in Pincha? Can you recommend a super non-slip mat? So this mat is the B mat by B Half Moon. This is my first time actually using a B mat, and I'm very impressed. It's like super dense, which is really nice. So, you know, sometimes those like the thinner yoga mats, like you get bruises on like your hips or your knees. It's really dense and it's super grippy. Like the fact that it's raining and I'm not slipping and sliding is quite incredible. Do your forearms have to be completely straight? Where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have a ton of questions for Pincha. Sorry, let me get through these real quick. How do we protect shoulders in Pincha? Jules, Pincha, I feel like I struggle to think of having one shoulder. Okay, having enough. Yeah, so, okay, hold on. And then we recommend, do your forearms? No, forearms do not have to be completely straight. And if, and if they do, they are going to want to do this. And if this becomes comfortable for you, that's fine. What I want you to, like, this is okay, this is not okay. So you want to make sure that the elbows stay where they are. And I believe, I can't remember who asked me, I don't think she's here today, but she had said that she gets like a weird bruise on her arm when she does it straight that way. And it's just because we are all built so uniquely. Some people, just the way their bone structure is, like the head of the radius will stick out, and yeah, it's just like a pressure bruise. So it is totally fine for the hands to be touching, like prayer hands, or hands to be flat, or to be forearms. All things are good, just not this. As long as it maintains a little bit of, why I like to have my hands flat is because then I can really use my hands and grip the floor. It just gives me another layer of stability. Okay, so let me go into, where do we gaze in Pincha? In between the hands, the arms, or the elbows? Yes, with Pincha, your head is hovering off the floor. Where does the tailbone go on the way up? My butt feels heavy. Is it very important to have forearms parallel, or can you have your, okay. I have a bead mat and almost yes. Okay. Okay, so let's go over forearm. It stopped raining. I'll bring you closer so you can really see. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so the way you're gonna find that baby bear stance is the same way we did it for the headstand. You're gonna grab opposite elbows on the outside and then open up. So you do not wanna be too narrow in your stance. You're not gonna be able to get the rotation that you need to engage your shoulders. Too wide is gonna be unstable. So Lupe, you need to close off that angle just a little bit. And the reason why I love this, the booty band here is that it gives you that feedback. Like you can press into the band, but it's also gonna hug you in, and it's not locking your movement. It's gonna allow you to kind of learn where you need to be. So band goes on your arms above your elbows. Maybe even a block between your hands. We lift up. I like to work into Pincha with one leg up. Now, you want to try to keep your chest as open as you can, as long as you can. So what that means, you see how my biceps are by my ears? I'm really pressing so this is like a closed angle, like this. I want my biceps by my ears, my chest through. So as best as I can, I'm trying to maintain that in my arms so that when I kick up, the work is pretty much already done in the lower body, which is my actual upper body, but here it's my lower body. If you are pressing in, there is a little bit of space there to do the opposite. So you have to lean forward a little bit, but once you catch it, you press back. You press your chest more open. My eyes, I'm looking straight down or at my thumbs. Eventually, your drishti or your gaze can drop all the way through your arms. I don't recommend starting there because it flips your world actually upside down. When your eyes are lifted, everything is kind of still right side up for you in your perspective, but once you drop your head, whole new world, like you're in the upside down. So, if you have a block, you can bring one under your feet. Let's do the kick up for now, and we'll do one leg at a time. So for me, and because again, this is my unique body and my unique experience, my first Pincha arm balance, I found through doing like a center split. Because when I'm in a center split, I can counter the weight of my tailbone with my legs. And it's just kind of easier. It's like two sides of the scale. So I started there, is really where I felt the first one. But no one was teaching me all the things that I was teaching you, or am teaching you. So what I prefer is to just do one leg at a time, knee to nip. It's the same feeling as this. Hips back, heart forward. And why do we keep one knee to nip? Because it always brings us back exactly where we started. Now the eye gaze is also an important thing. Kind of like, when we talked about chin stand earlier this week, keeping your chin lifted, unless you're super, super, super hypermobile bendy, keeping your chin lifted most of the time will not allow you to fall forward. If your face is down, way easier to go over, just from like how the spine is bending. When you bring yourself here, you're gonna max out and you'll come back. But if your head is down and your legs go up, you're gonna timber the other way. So same idea. Keep your eyes lifted, and most of the time you'll come back to where you started. Knee to chest. Pressing down to go up. I literally have it tattooed on my wrist, so I remember. I don't know if you can see. It says resist
gravity.
Okay, so protecting the shoulders in Pincha, it is repetitive work. Hugging in, pressing down, hugging in, pressing down. It's all the stuff you're doing. I know you're doing your band exercises. I know you're doing all the stuff, so just keep at it. Sorry guys, I'm just getting through. You have so many. Do we want to think about inwardly rotating armpits in Pincha, like turn armpits to each other? I wouldn't make it that, like, it's not that deep. Don't make it that deep. Like literally the simplest baby terms in your brain that just remind you to hug in and press down. And literally that's it. Hug in, press down, hug in, press down. And you'll hear like, oh, yes, Elle. Take your time. So you see you're jumping into it, which is why it's hard. And then you have to do all this extra work up top to catch it. Yes. Nice. Now press down to go up. Lift out of the shoulders. Yes. Nice work. Yeah, so the hop throws the whole balance off just because there's way more momentum. It takes way more work to stick it. It's not impossible, it's just tedious. So it's something you can do the more confidence you build, and the more you practice, the more consistent you are in your practice, that's when you're the most confident. That's when things just work. And it doesn't have to be the most every day, it's just a little bit. Okay, how are we doing? Lupe. Less thinking about your feet, more thinking about your tailbone. Send your butt to the wall. So if you find yourself being one of those people like me who's hypermobile, and you're finding like you're really sinking into your spine, like or the core is slipping, try to only practice in a way that like allows you not to cheat like that. So always hugging one knee into chest, like just until you understand it and feel where you need to be. Once you feel solid there, then you can go back into the hollow and kind of like work and feel in between. But as best as you can, try to set yourself up with those safeties so that you're not allowing yourself to cheat. My neck starts to hurt. Is there something I should be doing to prevent this? Where are you? I think, Paula, when it comes to you, you're just so strong. Like watching you and watching your practice. Wait, I need to find where, there you are. Yeah, like you are just so strong through your upper body. So naturally you're going to be a little tighter, and it's normal. I think for you, most importantly, you need to find the softness within your own strength. So you can still be strong and like do it, but at the same time, can you like find just a little bit of that? Like a little bit of softness. Let me see it. Let me see it. So lift your eyes just slightly. There. Need to. So it hurts when you're like lifting this way. Feels like pressure. Then just look down. Set your, like not under, but down. So that like mentally you're still right side up, if that makes sense. You don't have to crank it. Do what feels good and right in your body. If you want to start training with your head completely down because you are very strong, I'm sure you'd be able to find it very quickly. You probably can. No noodles, y'all. No noodles. I know. And this is the thing, right? Like I've said it before, you need to hold your intention with an open palm and not grip to it so tightly. There's this weird thing that like when you want it super bad, you will never get access to it. It's just the way it is. Like we can have the will, we can have to actually like to keep continually working towards these things. But if you are obsessed with the outcome, it's like your ego just cuts you off and it's not going to give you access. It's only when you are like open, unattached, present, it's when the good things happen. So you always want to be working towards it, but unaffected by if you get it or not, if that makes sense. There's all these very little fine lines and nuances. If you aren't mobile, to keep flat back and hinge at the hips as you bring legs forward, can you still? Yeah, of course you can. Where are you? Sorry, I don't know why the boxes keep shifting around and moving. Where are you, Nat? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, there you are. Let me see. Okay, lift one leg up. Good. And look forward. And you can actually come a little closer to the wall. So not all, like what I want you to do, I want you to just get up. Don't focus on like doing the slow, pretty, whatever. I just need you to get to the wall. Fling yourself. Because for you, I think it's more fear. You are fully capable. So just get yourself to the wall. Now there's two things about using the wall. It's kind of like a catch-22 because if you're just a little bit away from the wall, if you bring your toes to the wall, you're going to find yourself in that banana back situation. So a fun thing, flip yourself around so that your feet are on the wall and you're facing away from the wall. And then try it that way. So if you guys have a wall, try this too. Face away from the wall. And with your feet against the wall, bring one leg up to the sky and not to be lined like you want to find that pike position first. So not straight up and down, but like a pike. Yeah. So modesty, the one thing you're missing, resist gravity. You're sinking into the ground. Press and rise out of it. And keep that energy, like keep that active press. Naya, more bum over the back of your neck, less leg. Ass out, belly hollow. No, other way. Other way. Yes. Nice. And then press down to go up. Nice, Lucy. Beautiful. So now, Lucy, what you can do is start to soften that right knee towards your chest. And then press down to go up. Yeah. Oh yes, elbows get crispy. I have like a permanent chin tattoo from Chin Stand that I've given myself. We're all gonna have matching best friend tattoos after this challenge. And yeah, it's one of those things. Oh, power is not connected for some reason. It's one of those things that it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever done like a pole class, but you know how people get bruised immediately? It's just one of those things as you're learning to engage and use your muscles, like it's like part of the pay to play, you know? But in time, it does get better. So L, you got it, and then you fall into the fork. Keep rising out of it. Keep resisting. Yes, now it's working. Resist gravity. Okay. All right. Nice work, Demi. Let's go. It's insanely perfect. Stunning. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, you got it, Jewel. Perfect. Okay. So would you like me, before I move on to handstand, because I just saw someone doing it, do you want me to go over like straddle pressing in headstand? Because I do find, for me, straddle pressing is a lot easier for that reason where it's a little bit easier because you have that scale vibe. And also when you move in from a straddle, it's not so deep
it's not so deep of a press for the core. So you can go from your wide leg forward fold, your head comes down, you find that 90. So you're pressing to the toes, you press down into the hands, you go from tucked under, you roll the tailbone, legs come up. Tailbone drops back to counter the to counter the weight of the legs down.
And the best way to practice it, y'all, is from that shoulder stand. It is the easiest, most accessible, chill. And it's about that, like that pubic bone to belly button, that short space will unlock so much for you. Because a lot of the time we just keep, I think we just don't have the awareness of it. We keep it locked, or we don't even think that our tailbone has any value in these things, but it really is the keystone. Yes, I can do it one more time. I'm gonna do it from the side so you can see. So I'm gonna do it from here first, actually.
So you'll see it's the same. I'm walking my butt way over the back of my head. My feet float. I'm uncurling my tailbone, lengthening, pressing down into my hands to come up. Now the straddle is the same. A little easier, I think. Pressing down into the hands, you roll up. Then from there, you come up. And look for that pike. You don't have to be here. You definitely don't want to be here. Ass back, heart forward is the vibe. The further your butt goes over your head, the lighter your legs are on the come down.
So use that shift of the tailbone to help you go up and down rather than just relying on your arms, your shoulders, and your core. It's that shift of movement. Yes, so I find that the straddle is way easier. But then again, we're all different, so it's preference. Yes, nice, Demi. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. Good work. Okay. You ready? We're gonna come down. We feel more clear here? More with connections, things are happening, making sense. And even if it doesn't make sense right now, like we'll be, I'm sure, maybe months down the road, and you'll hear something maybe from another teacher in another class and it'll just click. Or you're gonna feel it in your body and you're gonna be like, yes, I can totally understand this. Okay, before we move on to the handstands, let's do just like our little wrist things. We're sitting, arms out wide, and you're gonna make with closed fist circles going back. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and pause. Open hands back. 1, 2, 3. Be dramatic about it. 4, 5, 6, 7. I know the forearm's burning. 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's good for you. 7, 8, 9, 10. Flash fingers. Flashy, 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 flashy. Keep going. Keep going. Flashy, 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 flashy. It's like, what do you do in the DEDICA challenge? You're like, there's a lot of this. Okay. Hands back out. Make the fist, and then you're gonna do like, you're just pushing the fist forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Yeah. Coming down to, is that not, should I be, I'm good? Okay. Back to my mat. Hands flat. Line up your wrist creases with the front edge of the mat. And you're going to, so grip the floor. Imagine like your hands are like octopi and you're sucking up, like you have all these little tentacles that can suck up the ground or like pull air from your mat. You're gonna pull your fingers up, lift, and back down. 2, 3, 4, like tenting the hands and then coming down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Heel of the hand back. Heel of the hand forward. Fingers back. Little rock side to side. And then flipping your forearms. Get your knees in, start at the very top by the elbow crease. Work your way down. Just massaging. And get to that space between forearm and heel of the hand. You rub in, you can like move your fingers around. So you're looking to create decompression. Create space. And then the other one. Okay. Palms face up, fingers face you. Bend your elbows wide, make a fist, and then keeping that fist straight in the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Those are great things for your wrists, just to decompress, to strengthen, to de-jam. Yo, these tan lines are gonna be not cute, yo. I'm doing it for you. Okay. Handstand. So all these things that we've been working on, from the headstand to the forearm stand, translate into the handstand. And honestly, for me, I think the handstand is actually mentally easier because your face is a little bit further from the floor. When your face is that close to the floor, you don't feel safe, regardless, at least me, I think. So I think the handstand, because the face is a little bit further away from the ground, it's not as intimidating for most of us. That might not be true for all of us, but over my 15 years teaching, I've seen that come up a lot. Okay. Okay, so before I move on, Elle made a very, Elle has a great question. How does one press up out of the shoulders when you sank? I find it so hard and end up falling over in Pincha. So if you feel yourself sinking, it's usually because you're trying to do the max and you don't have to yet. It is possible to wring yourself back in. It's just really hard to. It's not impossible, it's just tedious. So if you're sinking, you definitely can still press up and back. You just want to make sure. I cannot do that if I'm in my full variation with both feet up. It's just too much. It's too much to maintain. If I have one knee into my chest, like do that first, Elle. Master it with one leg in at a time. Get the base, the foundation solid, then worry about both legs up. Foundation over everything. But you can do it 150%. Just a little bit of work. Go get your bag, sis. Go, go. Okay. Okay, ready for these handstands? Questions to start, so I know where you guys are at. Peppermint oil, guys, peppermint oil, hot baths. Handstand questions? Handstands. If that, okay, so Nia's asking, do armpits face each other for handstands? I've never thought of that cue mentally in that way, but it's saying the same thing as wrapping elbows back, so yes. There is this ever-present rotation all the time. It's like what keeps the movement not static. So even though we might be still within a posture, you know and feel in your body that there is always constant movement, you know? And to maintain these bigger postures, it's kind of like I imagine like us, like, you know, when you light an incense and you see the smoke kind of like swirling and moving through the air. It's like you're constantly in this evolved state. Like you never hit static. We never hit like statue vibes. We're always like in flux, you know? So there's this ever-present energy when we do things. Yeah, and if that cue helps you, our armpits in, use it. I'm struggling with fear when doing my tucks. Is the fear to go over? Or is the fear to melt down? We all, like every teacher just has it, like we're all teaching from our own unique perspective, right? So I wouldn't say that it's wrong. It's just saying the same thing in a different way. And if some of you are teachers, that will be the biggest advantage for you in your teaching, is like how you use language to deliver what you're trying to get across. So what's made me a great teacher is being online and not being able to physically touch you guys. So I have to be very articulate with my words. And sometimes I need to find like 6 different ways to say the exact same thing. So there's no like right or wrong cue. It's really just like a matter of like personal experience. And we always teach from like what we know, or that's the best. When we have the most effect on people is when we're teaching something that we know and understand really within our own self. So you don't necessarily, Em is asking, I don't get how to keep my arms straight when coming from turbo dog to the tuck. Okay, so entry, sorry, let me get through I don't know how to position my shoulders for handstand. Fear both, tips, handstand, hypermobile, shoulder back. Entry, if not flexible. Oh, I got my bestie. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Emma's question. Keep my arms straight. Okay, so there is a little bit, like everything breathes. Everything has like a little space. Nothing is all or nothing. There's a little bit of space. It's when you feel that hover, you really want to, so when she's doing her little leapfrog tuck, so she's saying she's bent. So you can keep a bend, but press up. It's when you feel yourself catch suspension, you lock it in. Boom. Resist gravity. Press down to go up. So you can have a little softness, you just don't want to melt into the floor. Once you feel the hover, lock it in. You press. Entry for people who are not flexible. So use a wall, and we're going to do one leg. So Matt, come up to stand. Let's all come up to stand. We'll do this. Hands to the sky. So remember, you want to integrate these little details that we really need for our bigger postures in places that are accessible, that are not going to make us sweat. So let's do this. Hands up to the sky, making sure biceps are by your ears, but that you're not allowing the ribs to flare out to get, you like let it happen, but then ring it in as much as you can. Press the heel of the hand up to the sky, kick one foot forward, and don't bring it high. Now imagine someone is pressing that foot back into that body or into your body. Your hips move back, your belly hollows as a reaction. This is your handstand position. Look at my tailbone, pubic bone to belly button, upper ribs in. To come up, for someone who is not mobile, you can kick up. I don't want you to kick thinking that the leg is going over the back of the head. I want you to think about just the bottom leg, knee to chest. The top leg is just reaching. And when I jump up, I'm not thinking about where my toe is going. I'm pressing down through my bottom foot to bring my tailbone over the back of my neck. Hips back, heart open. Pressing down to go up. Same position. So if I start and I'm not open, if I'm not open, it's really hard. You're just gonna go into sway back, right? So try to set the foundation as best as you can. Keep it open, keep the lower body engaged, and just work with the lower body. Kicking up. But I highly recommend one leg at a time, finding balance and consistency with one leg in before you get both legs involved. Resist the ground more, L. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, and exit for handstands, y'all, is literally just a cartwheel. Shift the hips. Something to keep in mind and be very careful. So Ife, what you're doing, you're opening up into your three-legged dog with an open hip. And we all do this. It's like it's an innocent cheat. We all do it because we want to get our leg higher. But where it kind of stops us as we're moving forward into like nailing that handstand is that it offsets our hips. So once you get up, you have to do all this extra like rejigging at the top, which is just so much more to think about on top of the million other things that we're thinking about. So keep your hip closed, like baby toes facing the floor, and just energy through the leg. You use the bottom leg to spring you up, and don't think about the top toes, tailbone over the back of the neck. Think about that tailbone. Press, yep. Just trust it. You're so strong. Yeah. Okay, we have more questions. The gaze, I look at my fingertips just slightly ahead. Okay, Lucy asks, if you're on doing the one with the one knee in, no, it's the tucked leg that comes down first. And remember, that leg is going to be the one that always pulls you back to where you started. And I really love like trying to hang out in the L shape. Because even with your knee to your nip, if you just stretch that bottom leg straight, you're in that L. Hold on. Oh. See, the moment I come untucked, that's when I can go. So I want to keep my knee as close to my chest as I can. Because once I lift it up, I can go into back. Oh, right? I should probably move this so I don't fall off the deck or do anything detrimental. Now the same thing with the press. You can grab the blocks. So all of you're noticing now, I'm sure, like we've been working these in our flows all week, these deep compressions, these shallow dishes. It's the same thing here. So you can use the block or blocks or a chair or a couch to bring you up a little bit higher, especially if you have tight hammies. The blocks just give you a little bit of space to elevate. One leg up. Leaning. So you want to keep pressing your chest back as much as you can, but you lean forward into your fingertips. And to press up, it's kind of that counterbalance thing where you do need to bring the shoulders way past your wrists, and as you press down to go up, you level out again. So there is this like little bit of space of ebb and flow where you can lean your shoulders past. Ooh. Slow. Try the other leg. Now some people, especially hypermobile people, I'll show you one thing that helps me to get up, which is the puppy press. And we call it a puppy press because it looks like a peeing dog. So again, you can use blocks. I'm going to just use one. But we use the block to lift our hips higher and get the shoulder. I'm going to do this both ways. I'm going to show you first this way, and then I'll go the other way. Someone's blasting Bon Jovi. I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm not mad about it. Okay, so one foot on the block, one leg up to the sky. Now you're going to think like peeing dog. So the leg is out to the right. You're going to lift high on the ball of the bottom toes, pressing forward, and now it's kind of like you're just going, whoop, like you're just pushing something onto a shelf. Because the tailbone is so high, you're kind of pushing up and then leveling out. And having that leg to the side helps you. So we come up, we lean forward into the fingertips, we take this knee down as we float that left leg up, pressing down to go up. Now from this way, you really got to lean shoulders past your wrists, and that's why we do all this shoulder stuff to build strength and endurance. I press away, round and hollow. It's the same sensation as this. To the side, and then pop it on the shelf. Drop the right knee down as the left leg comes up. How close should hands and feet be before you jump? It's really like that baby bear stance. I like to make sure that, like I said, my top half is sorted, like my hands, my shoulders. You gotta find that. Too close, you're not gonna have enough space. Too far, you might bring yourself too much momentum. So yeah, if you're practicing the leapfrogs, I would avoid that at first. Because again, you're revving, and when you're revving, it's hard to catch yourself at the top. So figure out where you need to be first, like figure out the point A. Then from there, you can work on your entry. Yes, nice. Beautiful. So yes, the L shape is an alternative to the knee, but where your knee is will affect where the tailbone is. So the closer your knee is to your chest or touching your chest, you will be in that tailbone tucked under position, which is like our safe position to come back to where we started. Once that knee lifts off the chest to 90 degrees, you are now back in neutral spine. So you can do an L with your knee close to your chest and having the foot heavy. You don't have to lift the leg up. or you can start to expand and lift it up. Like you can do both in that L. So for me, that looks like either. So there's like, right? Knee to chest L or floating L. And even for me, because I'm hypermobile, to float my knee up to that 90 degrees puts me in an unstable position. Yes, wrists are feeling it. All right, bye. Do we have water down here by any chance?
No, we'll get some.
I would love that, thank you.
You gonna stay at the computer?
Yeah. You're very welcome. We're almost there. We're almost there. Does anybody have, I know we're roasted, cooked. Also, I'm physically cooked. It is so hot here. Do you guys have any other questions for me? How do you know if you're hypermobile? Generally, like when you lock your elbows, you can hyperextended will be like this. Hyperextended is, you know, a little bit. So when you extend, and we can all be hypermobile in different ways, right? Just because our muscles might not necessarily be hypermobile, our joints might be. And I think a lot of us are more hypermobile in the joints than what we know. And I definitely see that in you. Not so much in your muscles, but in your joints for sure. So we have like, and that's why I love yoga as my main practice, because, and I also love the gym and working out and lifting weights. But I find when I'm in a gym setting and I'm lifting weights, I am training my big muscle groups, right? Not a lot of the time are we, unless we're doing like light reps, repetitive stuff, or working with resistance, are we, where was I going? Sorry, I'm hot, the sun's getting to me. Where was I? I was at gym. Oh yeah, okay. So the gym works our bigger, more obvious muscles, where our yoga practice is working our subtle stabilizers and just like deepening. So it's good to have like a little ebb and flow. But yeah, a lot of the time I find people's muscles are super tight, but their joints are super mobile. So it's just about building awareness, trying things on, and how to stop fearing to leave the wall. So, Jewel, I know you're pretty flexible, aren't you? Yeah, like you can do a full wheel, no? Yeah. So if you know that you can do point A and you can do point B as worst case scenario, like if you were to fall from handstand into full wheel, I'm pretty sure you would be fine. You know what I mean? So as long as you know that you have an exit strategy or that you can actually handle the landing, you'll be okay. And sometimes it just takes like being in the middle of a room, maybe not in like a packed class because that is like ultra anxiety, but if you're in like a room where you have space and you can like cartwheel or be a little bit of a mess, that's okay. Oh yes, Nicole has all the hypermobile hookups. Oh, the bodysuit. The bodysuit is dropping. Yeah, just practice falling. You know how to cartwheel? Yeah. So that's really what you think about. Like when I'm losing myself in my handstands, I do my dominant side cartwheel. Thank you so much. So if I'm up, yeah, it's just like a switch of the hips. We, again, from like our primal and protective part of us that we all have, our body will always try to protect itself instinctually. So if you let yourself fall, you'll fall, which is okay too. But I think you're fine. You know, it's just like, just keep facing it. Sometimes I find in a yoga practice, like either, like when I first started practicing, I used to hate floor bow, and I was doing a practice that was like the same practice over and over and over again. And I would make up this story in my head about how bad floor bow was. And I would build up things like I knew it was coming in the series. And as soon as I would get to it, I was like, this really isn't as bad as I like keep dreading it and making it out to be, you know? And I think that it's the same with your handstands. Once you're in it, there's so much to think about that you suspend your fears. You know what I mean? And that's why you just keep checking in with these very real, tangible, physical sensations. Keep dropping yourself out of your head and into your body as much as you can. And just keep trusting that like you show up every day. You are consistent every day. You know? So just little by little. The bodysuit is dropping on Monday. Soon. soon. We're just working out details, but yeah, I'm very excited. I'm super excited. Okay, guys, we are coming to the end of our time. So if anybody has any more questions, I'm not sure yet, Elle. I need to figure it out. I hope so. I think so. I think it'll be available Canada and the US to start, maybe Europe, and then we'll see. We'll see where it goes. It's been a long time dream of mine to create something of my own, and I really haven't ever done it up until this point because I'm very particular about what I put out into the world. Like, there is so much noise out there. I don't need more garbage. I don't want to contribute to things being like, I don't want to worry about how long it's going to be or where it's going to be on the planet after I go. So they're all going to be made super small batch. They're handmade one by one in Toronto, Canada by an amazing team. And everything is like eco-sustainable fabrics. And yeah, so I feel really comfortable and confident to finally put this out because it's like ethically everything that I would want it to be. So, and it's like a multi-piece. Like, I live my life in my yoga clothes. I'm usually in places like by the beach, and I love to, I mean, Matt, I think you'd look amazing in a bodysuit. I'll send you one. You want that high cut thong bottom, right? I got you. Yeah. So I love to wear my pieces as, like, I wear all my yoga, like my bathing suits as yoga wear, my yoga wear as bathing suits, and blah, blah, blah. So it's a fully transitional line that you can wear as swimwear or as yoga wear or as lifestyle wear. Bye, honey. Bye, guys. And yeah, so I'm super stoked, but more on that soon. Any other questions about the handstands? You're cooked for now, aren't you? Yes. You're welcome. All right, everybody. We're good, right? Yeah, we tired. Everyone's tired. Okay, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Remember, you can always DM me, ask me questions, and I will enjoy your rest day. Take full advantage of rest, and I will see you. Oh my God, week 4 already. Just flies every year. Too fast. Too fast. You're very welcome, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest day. And I'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.